Welcome, my name is Ghoul, and you're watching top 5 serial killers who are still on the loose. Hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy.
Number 5. Karla Homolka. Karla Homolka was one half of the murderous couple that haunted the people of Canada. Homolka, along with her psychotic husband Paul Bernardo, raped and murdered multiple women, including her own sister. When the couple was discovered in 1993, Homolka turned over evidence on her husband in exchange for a reduced sentence. She was released in 2005 after serving only 12 years in prison. Recently, she has been volunteering at a school in Montreal, Canada.
Canada's notorious schoolgirl killer is an occasional volunteer at a Montreal school. City News has learned Karla Homolka has been in the classroom and on a field trip. Dominic Fazioli tells us why the school didn't do a background check.
Since her release from prison, parents have opposed her presence outside schools, including her children's schools. Last year, there was a backlash in Chateauguay, and now she's facing resistance in Montreal's NDG district. Can I talk to you for a second?
No, you can't.
Since September, Homolka has been a regular fixture at Greaves Adventist Academy, a private Christian school.
We don't want her there. We don't want her in the school.
Lily is a concerned parent at the NDG school. She doesn't want her face shown. She says Homolka does more than just drop off and pick up her kids. She claims Homolka occasionally volunteers at the school.
How would you feel knowing that your child is interacting with a person who's a serial killer? It's not right. She's not supposed to be there. Why is she allowed to be in the school?
Lily says many parents have spoken to the school principal, but nothing has changed. But the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada, who runs the school, says the school board was fully aware of who Homolka is and that she is not a regular volunteer and can never be alone with children in school or churches.
Number 4. Pedro Lopez. As one of the scariest serial killers in human history, Pedro Lopez was responsible for the rape and murder of hundreds of women in Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. He was caught in 1980, but only served 14 years in an Ecuadorian prison. Once he was released, he spent 3 years in a mental hospital in Colombia. He was declared sane in 1998 and released on a $50 bail. Lopez is currently free and suspected of further murders in Colombia.
He was always an unimportant person. He was living on the streets. He had no recognition, no social recognition whatsoever. And this was a moment for him to be big, to show the world what he was doing.
Curiously, Lopez spoke of his victims as if he cared about them and believed he'd saved them from a life of misery.
He thinks that he had to save the girls from poverty. He calls them my muñequitas, my dolls. He even tries to talk about them as if he feels he's saving them, that he has a mission.
On other occasions, Lopez blamed an alternate personality called Jorge Patiño for the murders.
¿Cuántas violaciones realmente cometió Pedro Alonso?
Yo no cometía, yo estoy implicado como cómplice. Claro que participé en el hecho, pero me tenía sugestionado bajo amenaza de muerte que si lo delataba, que él me mataba.
Pero Jorge Patiño eres tú mismo, decía.
No, padre, yo soy Pedro Alonso López para servirle.
Number 3. Mary Bell. When Mary Bell was just 11 years old, she had already killed 2 young boys in separate incidences by strangling them and mutilating one with scissors. She was convicted of manslaughter in 1968. 12 years later, when she was 23 years old, Bell was freed and able to change her name to start a new life. She won a court order that permanently protects her identity and that of her daughter, a protection for convicts now known as a Mary Bell Order. According to reports as recently as 2009, Bell had become a grandmother. Number 2. Nikolai Jumagaliev. Cannibal killer Nikolai Jumagaliev murdered and ate the remains of at least 7 women, with the number probably closer to 50 in the Soviet Union. He was often known as the Metal Fang, since he replaced his own teeth with white metal teeth. He was caught in 1980, escaped in 1989, was recaptured, and then released after 10 years of psychological evaluation. Number 1. Arnfinn Næseth. Norwegian serial killer Arnfinn Næseth worked as a nurse when he killed 22 people and attempted to kill more. Throughout the 80s, Næseth poisoned his patients with muscle relaxer. In Norwegian law, the maximum time for a prisoner was 21 years. However, he only served 12 years of his sentence. He was released under parole terms, which have since expired. He is currently living under an assumed name in Norway.